Hello everyone, this is Matador. Today we are talking about the Nintendo Switch. So the Switch successfully merged the mobile gaming market with home consoles. Nintendo is mostly based around their AAA properties, their first title properties like Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, even Splatoon now. Everyone knows them for this. And their third-party support on the Switch is actually mostly based on ports or older games that are being remastered. And so this video is going to be the top 5 hidden gems that can only be played on the Nintendo Switch. First up, honorable mention. I'd like to give a shout out to Ultra Street Fighter 2, The Final Challengers. Obviously Street Fighter 2 came out way back in, I want to say 91. It's one of the most well-known, if not the most well-known fighting game in history, and it's been updated and ported to multiple systems, but the Ultra Edition is exclusive to the Switch. So this game included 2 new characters on top of the Super roster, which would be Evil Ryu and Violent Ken. It has the HD art style. It also has online play, customizable colors for your characters, and a couple new modes that are kind of hit or miss, honestly. But after playing this is the first game I bought for the Switch, I believe. I would never go back to any other version. This is the definitive Street Fighter 2 for sure. It is a little expensive compared to, say, the Anniversary Collection that was later released on Switch, but this one is the exclusive. Let's get started with the proper countdown. Number 5, Snipperclips, Cut It Out Together. This was a launch title for the Switch, which was largely overshadowed by kind of the bigger name releases, of course, and later came out with Snipperclips Plus, which is a DLC version, which is ultimately the one that you should get if you decide to buy this game, because it has extra couple worlds of content. But the game itself is mostly built around co-op, where there's 2 characters who are these sort of anthropomorphized pieces of paper, I guess. And the idea is that you have these physical puzzles that you need to solve together. And in order to do that, you manipulate things on the screen, of course, but you also can overlay the paper with each other and snip yourselves. Like you clip off pieces of paper so that you fit together in the right way, or that you fit with elements in the world in the right way, that it resolves the puzzle in its sort of geometrical patterns. Number 4, Ninjala. This is a free-to-play, multiplayer, online, MOBA-style game where you are part of a team of these cartoon fighters. It looks very much like Splatoon. It almost feels like a copy of Splatoon, except instead of shooting paint at one another, you actually have these baseball bat weapons that can be changed into customizable looks and appearances. Then you just beat the crap out of each other, right? So if you don't have Splatoon and you're curious about just getting into this kind of genre on the Switch, or you want to change up, Ninjala is an interesting choice. It's been around over a year now, and there's been at least 5 seasons so far, and they have a series of events and DLC that happens and is still occurring. The developers have been very much in touch with the player base and wanting to keep it up to date. Number 3, Hatsune Miku, Project Diva Megamix. So Sega has a long history of these addictive arcade-based rhythm and music games. You may remember Space Station 5 and Samba de Amigo and titles like that. This Hatsune Miku series actually has over a dozen titles over the last 10 years, and this edition is a best of collection. It's not a collection of the previous games, it's a new game that has all of the best songs from the previous games, if that makes sense. And there's tons of costumes for your character, and obviously the game is based on other rhythm games, which is just pressing A and B at the right time or whatever button, but you also can use the Joy-Cons in motion controlled ways to make sure that you are putting them in the right position on the screen before you press the buttons, which adds some extra challenge. And if you're into rhythm games, this is one that is exclusive to the Switch that has a long history of series that you should check out. Number 2, The World Ends With You. This is kind of cheating because it's 2 different games at the same time. Final Mix is actually a remaster of the original DS game, The World Ends With You. And Neo is the brand new game, which is exclusive to the Switch. So I'm just giving a shout out to kind of both of these. Though it's not a game that I own, it seems like it would be really cool if you're into RPGs, particularly those that are a mixture of real-time and turn-based. So there's this overly complicated or complex pin system where you change your clothes and you change the pins that you have to give yourself new abilities or give yourself balances in combat so that you can attack on cooldown with these pins, right? And it looks like it would be a really cool story, and I love the art style. This is probably one of the top tier, at least appearance-wise, games that are exclusive to the Switch that you might not know about. Number 1, Golf Story. It really couldn't be anything else. This game is phenomenal. If you haven't heard of it, just go and buy it right now, no questions asked. This is a 16-bit RPG that is built around your characters preparing for a golf tournament. They want to be a golf pro. Pretty standard story up front. However, it gets kind of intense and very cutesy sort of adventure story that combines elements of that Zelda-esque style with sports game. So you'll find yourself going to like spooky graveyards and encountering skeletons, and then you'll find yourself going to the beachfront and having to buy ice cream for someone. I mean, it's kind of that interesting RPG elements to a game, but it's still centered around a really solid golf game that where you would switch, your irons, and you have to deal with the wind and hazards on the course. It's a lot of fun, and I can't even praise it high enough. You just need to go and get it. And there is a sequel coming that it seems to have been delayed for a long time now, Sports Story, which will involve tennis, volleyball, soccer, cricket, baseball, and this sort of wild remix of sports in an RPG element that I'm really looking forward to. So that's it. There's your hidden gems list of Nintendo Switch exclusives. Like and subscribe. Thanks for checking us out today. Peace.